Hello Earth, welcome to episode 36 of Making Cell, a series of videos where I record myself designing and implementing a programming environment, not just a language, called Cell. So if you're just tuning in, I recommend you give this a read. This link I'll post in the description, and autocode.nl/cell, github.com autocode.nl/cell, where I explain the project a bit, or you can go to episode 1. We're going to continue where we left off. We're closing off season 1. We have something that presumably is working, and there are all sorts of just a few corner cases I want to fix here, but honestly I'm very excited about this because simple as it is, I'm doing something like what if you give me dialogue? This is an interesting one. Of course I had to break it, but I'm quite excited about this. I am starting to really see where this is going with the environment, and I want to start by sharing the things that are on my mind before I keep on going with the actual implementation work that I have in front of me. And basically I am having more and more clarity, which is not much because I started with very little, but still clarity about where Cell is intended to go, and I'm really trying to go beyond, well, Excel, I guess I would just call it, beyond spreadsheets, and then JavaScript and Python scripts. I want to take something that build something that takes the best elements of them and combines them in a new way. Not a new way because I want to be original. It's just that I haven't seen a combination yet that was what I wanted it to be, what I think it could be. So that's kind of the goal I have right now in the medium term. And there's a bunch of things I want to implement that I'm very excited about. So the first one is we here have two-way communication between Cell and us. This is us, the user, and this is Cell responding with stuff. But besides that, I want to add an LLM there. So for that we need a service. But I'm very excited to have an LLM, basically an AI, helping us communicate, like a three-way communication between Cell, the LLM, and the user. I think that's super powerful, and also not even a metaphor, the notion of programming through communication, and just you communicate, and if you communicate, you can build a system, you can query a system, you can interact with the system, and by extension be the system itself too when you're connected with it. To me, that's super powerful and intuitive and natural. So that's the three-way communication I want to bring in here, which requires a service. So I guess the service would go here at the top. I also am excited about the idea of showing basically like a spreadsheet to show lists of hashes. So when you have a hash, let's say you have just to go from this example, not the stargazers. So for example, we have this list of hashes. Well, it's a list of two hashes. So the way you would have it, you could have it as a table. We have this something like born, first name, and last name, and then you could have the years, and this is quite natural, and it will work quite well for lists of hashes, and perhaps even for more nested structures if you're willing to make some concessions about the columns. But it basically is just for lists, and perhaps lists in general. So the row is the outermost level, and then the column is the innermost level. And if you have a list of things that are not the same hash, well, the hashes that have different keys, you can add more columns and have empty spaces there. That should be perfectly fine. So I'm excited to have this because it would be a good transition, not just, well, a transition from a spreadsheet, and also use the spreadsheet metaphor to a certain extent, wherever it's quite useful, right? Um, I think this is still more useful in many cases than this one. So I'm excited about that one, and even more excited, believe it or not, about what I'm thinking of calling a grid view, or the data grid. But I guess grid is better, which is I need to basically draw it to show it to you. But it would be kind of like I envision like putting basically lines around each item of a path. Like it was a spreadsheet with variable widths, but the variable width would only affect the path itself. However, the indentations would all have the same widths. So basically wrapping each of these words here with a line to see the like a grid that is a bit like a spreadsheet, but much more, I would call it aperiodic, in the sense that the widths are different. I wonder if we're gonna go mad or it will work. I want to try it, but I feel perhaps that it will make a big difference to see it like that. It's something a bit more structured than pure text, because I feel that the boundaries here in the text are still not clear enough. And having a bit of a more flattened way to look at it, not flattened, just using lines, will clarify it. And I think it's taking me out of the graphical swamp of putting cells inside of cells, because I tried that and it never looked good when I tried it. I basically always got stuck, and to a certain extent I abandoned the project a few times in the past because of that. One of the breakthroughs for me that got me recording this and writing this document was to think of it as text first, not as the UI with the boxes. Anyway, so that is the UI, and then of course generating custom views, which at the beginning would be perhaps to do a few dips with colors here and there, perhaps even call a graphing library like D3. And then the language constructs. Those I need to build soon too. I'm a bit lazy about this right now because I feel like the language works in my head, but of course I have to implement it. Perhaps I'm fearing that I will get into a syntactical gridlock or a conundrum that I won't be able to solve. But I need to give it a shot, really. And then of course I want to get files and emails integrated. I wanted to make it crystal clear and easy how to add a file to the data space itself and just have it there, and even preview the file. And in the case of CSVs or Excels, even just extract the data into for data as well, like automatically. So you just have it right there. And I also thinking of being able to email the project. So the email that is received by the project is added into the data space in some sort of, I guess, inbox. And then the files there can also be shown. And your data can be alive. I think that's to a certain extent what makes Emacs cool, which is you can have this scriptable environment where you get all sorts of inputs from different places. Could be things from the terminal that you curl, like basically make HTTP requests from the terminal, or you get emails in Emacs, and the people that have it and like it swear by it. So it makes sense because you have everything in one place, and that's exactly what I want to achieve. To centralize everything in some sort of desk that you can program, and not just by yourself, but you can program with the LLM, or perhaps the LLM can mostly program it for you and you can just give it the instructions. But whatever the LLM is generating, you should be able to look at it, because this way of representing code using for data, this one, should be much more readable. So even if you're a byte coder, you should be able to follow more what's going on. There's going to be less noise. You should be able to understand the intent and the mechanisms of the intent of the LLM. when it builds your cell. That's really it. Yeah. So okay, that's what's on my mind. Now that I said it, I have some time to program. Yes, yes. So let's just see where we left off. I'm not sure if today will be the season finale. The seasons are completely arbitrary, of course. Well, I really screwed it up here. Look at that. Split is not a function in 635. Yeah, because what's coming. Yeah. What's the message here? Why is it 6? I don't understand my own code here. What's the message? I need clarity on where I am. I'm iterating dialogue. Yeah, let's start there. Man, I really want to have cell already working, so then I don't have to do console log anymore. That would be awesome, huh? Okay, dialogue. Okay. Okay, I have a message from cell that is a mere number. I doubt that, but okay. Okay, we just do it like that and we solve it, quote unquote. Why dialogue gives me a 6, I wonder. It makes no sense at all. Dialogue should be the entire thing, right? Yeah. Also, this makes no sense to use the quarter there. But at least it should work, right? Here, why 8? Dialogue is the whole thing. Yeah, it's working. There's something funky here. Really funky. Has to do with the number of rows, I think. Dialogue. Yeah. Yeah, of course. the message is completely wrong. Why am I doing this stuff here? Do I really have to do this stuff here? I don't, right? What do I really want here? What I need is a way to convert this into JavaScript, right? But why do I want to convert it into JavaScript here? I have a bunch of paths here, which is what is really returned. So what do I want to do with these paths? I want to iterate them, and whatever is in the 2, I want to, I want to collect the message basically. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so the message can have multiple entries, right? And what do I do with those entries? I guess I just join them by new lines. No, not really. I can just return the paths I get. Yeah, I need to basically use the texter, right? Yeah, I can do a 2-pass. So the message, as long as there's message, I just push to it. What I need to push is v slice 2, right? Yeah. And then I would just call the texter on the message, right? Yeah, that will make sense. So I didn't need to use JavaScript, kind of. No, I think I don't. Das texter. Yeah. Yeah, I need to understand that everything is paths, really. As you can see, I'm not being overly concerned with efficiency here. Huh. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. So it does work, and these texts are a bit long. So what do? We could stop showing the dialogue. That we could do, right? And we could also forbid putting to dialogue, right? Yeah, so that one, I'm afraid I cannot do that, is when the left side yeah. what I need to check is not really that you're putting. Yeah, that the left side doesn't start with put. I also want to check that if I do put something like put foo to bar, so that would be allowable, but not this. So even if the second item that you put is put, not the first one, it will also do the same thing. Dialogue. So I can just make an allegory there. All right. Yeah, I like the tests. What can I say? They're keeping us moving forward, right? So I need to go back to the previous song. It's just so good. Yeah, so does this work? Yes, thank you. So let's just hide the dialogue from this thing. So we cannot put the dialogue. When we do the get, so the get should do is more like the paths. So we'll just filter everything. Yeah, we're filtering on paths. And not only that, my notion of future efficiency of I will write it here. My notion of future efficiency of performance. Cell performance will be measured in paths per unit of time. So we'll think about or speak about a system that processes thousands of paths per second or millions of paths per second. That's going to be my unit. I really am taking that seriously. If B0 is dialogue, don't show the dialogue. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what? Why is it doing that? Oh yeah. Now, yeah. Well, now we have a mismatch between the long dialogue. Do we want the old stuff to be at the bottom? Maybe we need to invert it, right? Or we just let it scroll upwards. No, let's not break that convention, I think. Right? Yeah. It's too much. Yeah, it's one more question mark in the user's head that they don't need. This is already different enough. Yeah. My god, I cannot get past this song. I'll just put it in the beginning again. Yeah. I kind of want to reset this. there a reset function I have handy? I can just do it like this. Boom. Why is it resetting this? It's not no text, right? No mysteries. Where do I do this? Initialize. Oh, here. I guess we can do it for now. The initialization. If I do foo, it stopped working. Why did it stop working? It was working. You are witness. It's recorded that it was working. Ah. If I do, of course, the get will still work. See, it's the untested stuff that works, that breaks always. If I get full, I will get full. So what's the problem? Maybe I did something stupid here, as usual. Yeah, that's probably it, right? What else could it be? Yes, like there's no dialogue. Yeah, sure, this is affecting only the view. That should not prevent me from adding something to the dialogue, right? If dialogue has a length, what's going on here? Oh yeah, we're not putting the dialogue anymore anywhere. What's going on? Oh. Of course, my god, there's an error that nobody's seeing. Oh my god, yeah, of course. When I forbid to put to the dialogue, I forgot that I forbid it from the outside, not in the inside. Yeah, of course. It's in the... where am I? This is the test case. The test case is fine. Yeah, all high and dandy, but I do need it in the put. I need to forbid it where? I need to forbid it in the... I'll just pass a flag there in the put, and I will do that And now when I call put like that valiantly, I just do like a true, and now we work. Or not. What happened? Yeah, of course, if I don't do anything with that conditional. All right. And I think I need to get rid of those quotes, because why would I need those quotes? If I get the dialogue, yeah, the message is quoted. Yeah, it has to be quoted, right? But why those? Why the single quotes? Sorry, so why the double quotes there? They're completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. That's wrong. Yeah, why am I calling the texter on that? The call is already text, right? Yeah, it's already text. Okay, reset this. Why are you doing that again? Well, maybe that's a second texter. Yeah, we're getting a bit less silly with every iteration. Yeah. So now, who's calling texter unnecessarily? Yes. Yeah, I should not call texter on user stuff, right? If the item from is user, it will be item message. Otherwise, it will be. This will be an interesting one in the syntax. So be able to conditionally apply or not a function to the same thing, but like in a more fluent way. Yeah, because in the other one I have paths, and I just do here message. I am going to be very happy if this actually works. More importantly, hope that other people will also be very happy that this works as users. Why message split is not a function? Ah, so the message from the user is why the message is I guess the texter for this, yeah, it makes sense they will return quotes. The problem is that I'm pathing it, right? Why am I losing information here? Why am I losing information? I send this becomes this and this. So why can I not text it back into this? Yeah, the problem is that I'm storing it all together. Oh yeah. Yeah, again, I'm doing silly things. What I need to do is I need to store a parse representation of the call, right? Which is kind of what I'm doing here, right? 3, no, 4, and then 8. It should be the exact same thing. If I just call parse is it parse or receive? Well, I guess, sorry, it's parsed already, right? No, the response is there. I don't get the parsed. When I call receive, I could get an error. But I want to store it as text because I want to represent it as it came without those quotes. But if it's unparsable, then what do I do? It's a good question, huh? Yeah, because I don't want those quotes around it at all. But at the same time, I need to preserve the actual text that came in. So this is correct, unfortunately. I want to preserve the text. That's really what came in. But if it's text, I will show it as a quoted thing when I get it back. And what if I don't text it? I don't use the texter at all. Ah, good. Of course, then what I can do is the item message 0, just like that, which will be I guess 0, 0. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Because I expect it to be one path with one element, which is text. Yeah, and that way we have it. And this is gonna be fun. So you can get that. Can you get put? No, you cannot get it because it's a call. This is a bit alive already. I'm getting a bit of surprise here. Yeah, man. What color should we give to LLM? Purple? Maybe purple. Maybe purple and white. So the user has dark text and cell and the LLM. So the silicon powered entities have a darker background with a lighter text, and the carbon based forms right with charcoal on a wider surface. Yeah, good. Let's note it down because I will probably forget it. Silicon based forms will write in white text over a dark background. Carbon based forms green, dark green, and dark purple will write black on whitish background. Yeah. All right. I think it's almost time. What do I do now? I did nothing, but I still feel quite happy because I think we got rid of a few issues with the quotes and whatnot. If I just do mystery, it's an error perhaps that we got. When we get nothing, we need to print it. Silly. Yeah. Let me reset this this thingamammy. Why doesn't it do anything? I know. If there's no length on the paths, return me this. Yeah, exactly. I guess this is from receive. Yep. Is it that one? Shooting in the dark here, but at least you can shoot in the dark bisecting the test cases. That's a better shoot in the dark. Yeah, it's below. Silly. I didn't want it to be below, but it is below. I was just looking for the keys. Okay, now it works. No! My god, was it at the top? This is so embarrassing. I hope no one's watching this. In the pather. Yes, sir. Okay, let's just be brave and do this. Boom, look at that. I'm getting even braver now. No, yeah, too brave. What would we do without these tests? Probably just theorize, I guess. Where are you? There, I saw you. I spotted you. Why am I breaking everything? No, indeed. I did it wrong. Sorry. If you send no text, this is wrong. If you send no text, no, it's not that. It's the get that needs to do that. If there's no paths and you're receiving something, that's fine actually to return that, so I was wrong. if you send me a message that is empty, yeah, but I guess in that case, what I want to do is when I get an empty message, actually I don't need to do it here. All this was in vain. Well, not the 36 episodes, huh? I mean, sorry, this is fine. What I want is when I get something empty, that should be that's all I need to think. Not so easy sometimes. And now I do need to bisect things. Dun, dun, dun. See? Doesn't take me where I want to go. Well, I do need to go now. Why if I comment tests is it breaking? Well, I really broke it now, huh? Am I going to leave it in this broken state? Why? Well, it has nothing to do with the tests, right? So let's just fix the test first. I was expecting is it this one? Is it this one again? No. No. It's not this one. It's expecting an empty array. I got list of my own test cases. Where are you? Oh, there, of course. Man, I'm really losing it. I need to go to bed. Oh yeah, maybe it's this. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna fix the tests. Go to sleep. Okay. Where are you? Here. All right, we're almost done. And we are good. We fixed the tests. 621. Yeah. Yeah, that should not be in the dialog. Let's reset this. Oh yeah, because I'm getting the dialog now and it tells me, yeah. Yeah. If dialog. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I fixed it. Time for bed. Thank you for watching. I am will commit this, but I'll do it afterwards. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next episode. We're almost there with season 1.